Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are here for a special episode on Farid Responds, and I'm joined by my brother Afzal, who has done the unthinkable. Afzal has watched how many episodes of Christian Prince videos? How many videos total?
I'm not sure. I think maybe above 200?
200.
Above 200, yeah.
Why? Why would you watch 200 Christian Prince videos?
Right, so you know the story, how it goes. My friend, from school, we were schoolmates, and we play football quite a lot. We happened to speak about religion because he's a Christian, and he was inquiring about some things about Islam.
Right.
And I was quite amazed that his questions that he brought are not the common questions a Christian would maybe want to know, right? And he had these very particular questions that only sometimes scholars would know because they're not everyday stuff.
Okay.
And sometimes they are misunderstandings, irrelevant stuff, right? And over time I realized that he's getting all of the stuff from a guy called Christian Prince.
Okay.
So initially when I heard Christian Prince, I thought, this is some guy with, like a alter ego, alter name, Christian Prince, and maybe he's just some sort of a troll. But then it actually happens that he is a troll.
Right.
But at the same time, people actually take him seriously.
Right.
And
why is that? Why do people take him seriously?
Well, of course, first thing, he's entertaining.
Okay.
He gives an entertainment, right?
Right.
He's very good in mockumentary. Mm-hmm. So anything serious, he can turn into a joke. Right, and this comes to only we're talking about Islam. Anything about Islam, he can turn into a joke. Giving charity, he can turn into a joke, right?
Okay.
Give with your right hand, the left hand doesn't see. Oh, does your hands have eyes? And then he can just change the stuff and make it a joke.
Right.
When the message is quite deep,
right,
that you have to give charity in a way that the other person doesn't see, right? So he changes anything into a joke.
Okay.
So I think this is why he's quite attractive.
Okay.
And people watch him for this.
Why do they try? So we know the scholars don't call him on his show, right?
Right. They have better things to do.
Okay, that's quite obvious. Why do youthful Muslims? Why do the youngsters? Why do folks with not too much knowledge call him on his show?
Now, after watching him so many times, and one of my particular interests when watching his videos was to see the videos where the title is about someone leaving Islam. So I was very interested in knowing what kind of narrative did he bring, or what is it that he said that made the person leave Islam, right? And after viewing it for a while, I noticed what he brings is things that are there in the text that are misdirected. Let's just take one example. Mm-hmm. He talks about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ being someone who is encouraging people to have sexual intercourse with a dead body.
Okay.
And he brings this hadith where the Prophet ﷺ has dug up the grave of one of his relatives, and he asks, "Who amongst you, has not been in a sexual relationship last night?" And one of the companions raises up his hand. He says, "All right, so come in here and help me out."
Okay.
Now what Christian Prince does to the audience is, see, this man, he's so sexually charged that he doesn't even leave a dead body. See how he built a wrong narrative? When actually the reality is, he wanted to know who is upon tahara. Right. Because only the one who is tahir can come in, and the one who's pure can come in and do the ritual.
So purity turned into necrophilia,
Exactly. So the Muslim who doesn't understand this, and let's admit it, majority of the Muslim ummah, due to the history we've gone through, colonization and all of this, and removal of the Arabic language from our curriculum, and smashed us with whatever is the running in the world today, we have lost Arabic. So a lot of people calling here are from the largest Muslim populations in the world: Indonesia, Pakistan, and India, and most of them cannot speak Arabic, cannot know Arabic.
Right.
Right? This hadith is not a problem for Arabic. It's a problem for not knowing the context.
Right.
And not being able to think outside what it seems to show. And Christian Prince has built this whole image around the Prophet that he is, I don't want to say things, we know what we're talking about.
Okay.
He's this, he's that. So initially the Muslim who calls says, no, this is not what I heard about my Prophet. You cannot say this.
Right.
He said, are you sure? What if I show you? And then the Muslim is trumped, he's swept under his foot,
Right.
and he's like, wow. And he shows him another one, and he shows him another one.
Right.
Right? Maybe two of them are weak, and they're still not a problematic hadith, they're a misdirected hadith.
Okay.
And then he'll bring a strong one with some other subject, and he will show you, see, this is strong. This is a sahih hadith, this is not a, So he plays these games with the Muslim who necessarily is not educated in all of this. And let's face it, to be a good Muslim, we don't have to know the entire hadith corpus.
Right.
We don't have to be a scholar.
Right.
Because what gets us salvation is believing in Allah,
Right.
doing the required good deeds, prayer and fasting and being kind and all of this stuff. And there are many verses in the Quran which repeat and talk about this, but all he chooses to show them when they come is, see, you have this and you never knew this because your scholars didn't tell you, your imams, your mullahs didn't tell you.
Right.
And then maybe some imam in some locality must have done something, like he had a bad experience, maybe the imam shouted at him during a Quran class. He must be, yeah, he shouted at me, and now he's saying my imam doesn't say stuff. He's a bad imam, and the guy leaves, But here's the thing, and I'll tell you further, if there's anything you'd like to...
No, please carry on. I'm interested.
It's not just about people converting. Now, what happened was, as I kept watching, I stumbled upon a video. And this video was by a man who had my name.
Okay.
So I'm like, wow, okay, someone with my name.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, you are live on air, my friend. Go ahead. What do you want to say to us, Abdul?
I'm not Abdul. I'm Afzal.
You're what?
Afzal.
Afzal? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a Turkish?
I'm not.
Okay. You are a Muslim, right?
Yes.
And then as I go on hearing, I realize this is the same Christian schoolmate of mine,
Okay.
because of whom I took an interest in knowing who is his so-called Christian Prince teacher, right?
Right.
And it happens to be him,
Right.
who takes my name,
Right.
goes on to the show, asks a few questions, which I posed at him
Okay.
during our conversation,
Okay.
and then
So wait, he was acting as if he was a Muslim?
now here's the thing. Hang on, he's acting as though he's me.
Right.
So long story short, the whole
So he never says that he's not a Muslim.
he says he's a Muslim.
Okay, he actually says
He
he's
is
a Muslim.
yeah, he is a Muslim.
Okay.
He's calling in my name.
Right.
So Christian Prince is like, are you a Muslim? Yes, I'm a Muslim.
Really?
Okay, don't reveal your identity because you got to be safe. And he says, I have some Christian friends. So he's playing my role.
Okay.
And he's saying, I have some Christian friends and stuff. They ask me
Okay,
questions.
okay,
And he asks the questions I asked him.
Okay.
And he gets answers from CP.
Okay.
Terrible ones, right?
Right.
And sufficient for convincing him. And towards the end of the conversation, he says, are you ready for coming to Christ? And he says, yeah.
What?
Yep.
You never told me this.
I did. You were very busy with other stuff, I think.
La,
You missed
this.
this. You missed this. You missed this.
Subhanallah.
You missed this.
So, my friend, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like leaving Islam now? You want to denounce Islam?
I actually did in my heart, but maybe not by my words.
Okay, that sounds good. So we can say you are out of Islam.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is nonsense, and it's control system, But where I live, it's not possible to, say things like this. But I think I just have to find a way. I just have to do it.
Well, I'm very happy for you, my friend, that you left Islam. Do you have any question for me about Christianity? As long as you decide to leave Islam and you are very sure that this is a very stupid cult and you don't want to be part of it, good for you. But what do you think about Christianity?
I have a lot of respect for Christ, because I can see that he's always done good things, and you know, I mean, he's helping people, and he's definitely, he can't be human, because of all the things that he's done. So I'm just taking it like one step at a time, and I'm pretty convinced that Christ is God. I know that.
I mean to
I
that, my
know
friend. I mean to that. I mean to that. So you accept the Messiah as your savior then?
absolutely. I know
That's
that, but
that's
I
wonderful.
just don't want to go around saying this, because you know how it is in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is new to me. This is new to me.
200 plus.
Okay, subhanallah. So okay, by the way, I've watched like maybe 30 or something. So mashallah, you're way ahead of me.
Only knowing what he says.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, people are commenting, oh, this is the truth, and this is. So you can see.
Would you be able to dig up the clip?
Yeah, within a few seconds.
All right,
I've
we're-
saved it.
We're gonna stick this in the description, guys.
Right.
Subhanallah.
Right.
Okay. So the main reason we're gathered here, the title of the video, which is like pending in my head, but it's gonna be something like, "Watch this video before calling Christian Prince." Okay. Why is Christian Prince relevant after I've shredded him in exposing him lying 100 times, refuted him so many times, exposed his ignorance? Why is he still popular? Why is he still relevant?
I think we have to maybe blame the Muslims ourselves,
Okay.
right? Because his show is nothing without a Muslim calling in, right?
Right.
In his show, he usually begins like half an hour before the show comes on,
Yes.
or maybe a day before the show comes on. He sometimes posts what's next,
Right.
and then there's a countdown. So people are already ready what time Christian Prince is going to come on. And once he begins, there will be a title, and he will choose one title, and he will start talking about it, giving his comments and stuff, for at least 15 to 20 minutes to build a narrative.
Right.
Right? He'll create enough damage, and then he will say, "Is there any Muslim who wants to challenge me?
Right.
Is there any Muslim who wants to, say I'm a liar or whatever?" I mean,
Right.
I don't think he ever said that. And then, when the Muslim calls is entertainment, because who's calling? I mean, even if a top tier scholar calls on that show, he can't do much, because everything is controlled by Christian Prince. Christian Prince says something and say, "No, you're a liar, because here's a hadith." Can these scholars pull up a hadith and say, "No, you're a liar because hadith. This is a da'if one. These are the strong ones. These are the reasons." Can he do that? He can't. He'll say, "Oh, no, you are not, you're a liar." The audience are like, "Ha, scholar, top scholar, Christian Prince, crushing him." And then imagine an average Muslim who's praying 5 times a day, has yaqeen in Allah, the fitrah goes to one God, and the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu life and the Quran. All of this is what this guy this pious Muslim, the everyday average struggling to go through life Muslim calls him, and then thinks, "I've never heard this stuff. This guy's a liar," because he knows this is a lie, because
Right.
this is not the narrative
Right.
that's out there,
Right,
right?
right.
He calls in to say, "No, you're lying," and then he trumps him with these stuff.
Right.
And sometimes people call him thinking they can actually defeat him.
Right.
And when I said a top scholar, when he comes in, he can start manipulating the show. Then imagine an average guy.
Right.
According to who comes into the show, he lets the leash, in the sense, if it's a mediocre guy, right, who doesn't know much, he let him speak, because he knows he doesn't know stuff.
Right.
And here's the thing about a question you asked earlier: what about Christian Prince? Does he know stuff? He's read enough, probably.
It's forums knowledge.
Yeah,
His knowledge is the stuff you find on Arabic forums. It's not book knowledge. It's not book knowledge. It's not like a college knowledge. It's
right, university knowledge.
It's forums knowledge.
Right.
That's what he has. If
Right.
you spend a good enough time on Arabic internet forums, you'll have that information.
Right.
It's nothing special.
Right. So that's the thing, you know. He knows who he's dealing with.
Right.
Because he knows the level at which the responses are coming. And then if it's someone who is, the average Muslim, he's going to let him speak. Especially if he has a stupid accent in his regard, right?
Yeah.
If he has an accent that he can mock, right?
Right.
And then, or if it's someone angry, so he can show Muslims are angry.
Right.
Or if it's someone funny, so he takes advantage of who calls, and especially Muslims.
Yes.
Right. And this is why calling him is the fuel for letting him continue what he's doing.
Okay.
And here's the other side. Muslims might argue, no, we want to call him because we know he's lying and we want to correct him. But we've realized it doesn't work. And
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
And secondly, the Muslims might say, okay, then if we can't do it, why can't the scholars do it? I told you, even if the scholars go in there, it's the same. He's going to change the show.
He's going to change the show. He's going to mute the guy. He's going to kick the guy off the conversation.
Of the
We've
show,
seen
yeah.
that. We've seen that before.
بهلك من أهل نجران. I have news from the from the angel about the people of Ahl Najran, the Christians who came from there, that I should invite him to do mula'ana, which means the cursing party. What is the debate?
Okay, did you finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh man, you have no clue what you're talking.
For sure.
فكانوا في عيسى بن مريم فكانوا يجادلون النبي. They were debating the prophet.
My friend, they mujadilun, you stupid. Abdul, just don't call me again. Let your parents call me. You stupid, it's in front of you.
You see, nobody dares call me.
So you can't win, guys. You can't win. If you want to debate Christian Prince, you debate face to face.
Right.
You debate face to face, where he can't do these things to you, and that's why I refuse to go on his show. So, one more time, you said that this calling him fuels his show. Would you
Right.
mind explaining that?
Right. So, off late, after your 100 Lies About Christian Prince, I stopped watching his show because one of the primary reasons I used to watch his show is to collect the things he used to say, right? I wanted to collect what are the wrong things he says, pile them up, and give it to the experts in the field, right? And also it was because for me it was a learning curve. I could see what kind of angles a missionary can
Right.
always
Right.
get at Muslims. So it is noticed that after your 100 Lies About Christian Prince, there are lesser Muslims who are regular Muslims calling in.
Okay.
Because they started seeing the liar side of CP, not the expert who has the, alternate opinion which could be true. They saw him as a liar, outright, he's just a liar. There's nothing more than this, right? So you could see lesser number of calls. And it also affected another individual. I don't think we should promote him, but there's another guy who pretends like him, talks like him.
Okay.
All right, I think he's younger to Christian Prince, yeah. And I think
I know
you guys
the
did a
Joker,
video
I
on
know
him,
the
so,
Joker, yeah.
right?
Okay.
So even on his show, you could see when people don't call, they're like, okay, guys, any Muslims? Guys, any Muslims? Oh, are you a Muslim? Okay, wait. Hello. Hi, I'm John. John, are you Muslim? No. Okay, sorry, it's only a Muslim. Yeah, so they'd be lurking about, waiting for a Muslim. Oh, is that a Muslim? Okay, let's answer this call. Hello. Hi. I have some questions. Are you a Muslim? No. Sorry, we want to answer Muslims first. And then finally, he'll be like, okay, guys, Christians can call in. You can see that people come in just for the show.
Right.
And Muslims make a big mistake going in there and calling him for whatever reasons. One, you cannot do anything on that show. So if you're calling in to actually respond and say you're a liar, you're not doing any favor to the ummah.
Okay.
Completely avoiding them.
So those that want to do something about him, what do you recommend they do?
Well, you're the expert.
Okay, so just make videos. Just make videos about him and challenge him to a public debate. It could be anyone. Again, as I said, he says very clearly that he avoids going or showing himself in public because he doesn't want to be inconvenienced.
Yeah, he wants to fly to the Middle East.
He wants to fly to the Middle East without anyone giving him trouble.
Right.
That's it. He says himself, I'm not afraid for my life.
Now, I'll tell you what, let's start off on that one. Protection. Do you feel you need some protection? Have you been subjected to any threats for criticizing Islam?
The one who made the Wikipedia is not me. So this is what people believe. But for me, it's for more privacy. Not really. I don't fear no one. But it gives me more freedom. Like as an example, in the coming after New Year, I'm going to go to some countries around the world, and still I can go in Islamic countries and they will not know that this is a Christian prince. So it gives me a great advantage of going anywhere and no one have an idea who is this guy. So it's not really you know, as a protection as much it is it's better.
He's not afraid for his life, guys. Don't worry. Nothing's going to happen to CP. Okay?
And very interestingly, people should watch and must watch his conversation interview with Abdullah Samir, because there CP was on the defensive foot.
Okay.
And everything he said in there is something that is, in a way, it is right in the way how he was defending, you know, objectively seeing a subject. You don't see it from one angle, you see it from two angles, right? He was playing these cards when it came to defending against an atheist who was putting God and, you know, the belief in God on the, you know, on the front line. Okay. So he had to take a defensive foot. You could see him saying things like, judge Moses by the time of Moses. You got to judge Jesus by the time of Jesus. Okay. And then he paused for a moment and said, judge Muhammad by the time of Muhammad.
So you are talking about people trying to understand them in your own atmosphere.
Yeah.
Don't do that. If you want to understand the time of Moses, go back to the time of Moses. You want to understand the time of Jesus, go back to the time of Jesus. Same about Muhammad. So we don't, you know, what we always think about is how in the world they do that at that time.
Really?
Yeah. So he had to be consistent there, and he said it. But when it comes to a Muslim, there is no judging Muhammad by his standard, by his time, understanding the world, understanding the scenario. You see. So clearly, I mean, the man knows that he is lying and he's being unfair with Islam, and he's making money probably or whatever. He is having a good time. You know,
hundreds of patrons. Yeah, I don't want to say thousands per month, but maybe we need to look it up. But he does have hundreds of patrons.
It doesn't matter. He's enjoying it.
Yeah,
he's getting something out of it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. He's making money. He's making good money. This is a living. He can actually make a living out of attacking Islam.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So to sum up, one more time. What is fueling Christian Prince? It's the Muslims calling him on his show and making him relevant, which is causing people to watch his show. If no one called, then he would be irrelevant. People would go watch someone else.
Each video is like 2 hours, 3 hours. Some of the Muslims on his show stay for like 2 hours arguing. And the whole time he's asking one question, he's turning them around, taking them for a ride. It's a waste of time. And even if he's wrong, right, the Christian will never know.
Right. You're correct.
What are you going to do?
You're correct.
What's the objective? Are you going in there to save those Christians? Leave it to Allah for saving them. But from your part, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to sound like a stupid Muslim who came in there, you know, because that's what they call it. Every time you go in and comment anything, oh, you stupid liars, you stupid Muslims.
Yeah, the comments section are, they're like miniature CPs. That's what they seem to me.
They've acquired that nature, unfortunately.
Right.
Right. And this friend of mine, of course, nobody's going to know his identity, and I want to leave it that way, right? I saw a different side of him once I started discussing these things.
Right.
And to think that a person has such thoughts, I don't know what to say. It's quite sad. Yeah, it's quite sad.
All right, guys. So before finishing this video, I just want to repeat what we learned here today. Learn the basics. Learn the stuff yourself. If you want to do something about CP, don't call him on his show. Refute the videos on your own. Stick them up on your channel. If they're good enough, I'll stick them up on my channel. I don't mind. I need some good content. Apart from that, challenge him to a public debate. Don't go on his channel where you can't win. Don't go on his channel where he's going to kick you off. He's going to mute you. He's going to speak over you, change the subject. We have many clips of him doing that. Don't waste your time. And most importantly, that's what keeps him relevant. We don't want him to be relevant. End him by not calling him and feeding and fueling his channel. Thank you for helping me out today. Barakallah feek.
Allah يسعدك.
شكرا حبيبي.
بارك الله فيك.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
السلام عليكم.
وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.